Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're objectively decoding a really fascinating framework that recently caught our eye. It's pulled from a source exploring what they call dark-coded psychology. Sounds intense, right? Well, it's basically a set of principles that claims to reveal the hidden mechanics behind physical attraction and human connection. We're going to break down these concepts together, strip away the mystery, and look straight at the raw behavioral science the source is proposing.
So, let's just dive right into it. When you think about what actually brings two people together, what really drives that initial spark? Is it just, superficial looks, or is there a much deeper, underlying psychological energy that naturally draws people to each other? Well, the source material we're looking at today argues heavily for the latter, that it's this internal energy and structure that forms the absolute bedrock of desire. To actually understand this energy, the source outlines a 6-rule journey for us. 1. Mindset and true confidence. 2. Leadership and strong intentions. 3. Projecting masculine desire. 4. The power of emotional control. 5. Exciting high-value communication. And finally, Rule 6. The master trick of connection.
Kicking things off with rule number 1, mindset and true confidence.
According to this framework, true confidence stems from a very specific state they term Carl psychology. Now, don't get it twisted, this isn't about being arrogant at all. The source defines this as maintaining a completely relaxed, gentlemanlike presence. You aren't applying pressure, and you definitely aren't rushing intimacy. And why does this matter? Well, because forced intimacy almost always leads to rejection. By just removing that pressure entirely, you create this vacuum where the other person naturally feels comfortable stepping forward on their own.
Moving right along to rule number 2. Leadership and strong intentions.
Look, attraction definitely isn't passive. As you navigate those initial interactions, it can totally feel chaotic, but you need to act as the compass. You lead the interaction by cutting through all that noise, knowing exactly what you want, and maintaining a completely clear purpose. The source suggests that stepping up with this kind of decisive leadership naturally forms attraction, simply because it signals security and direction.
Which brings us to rule number 3. Projecting masculine desire.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the source actually defines masculine energy. Pop culture often portrays this as being loud, aggressive, or kind of overbearing, right? But the source frames it entirely differently. It's actually about silent understanding and predictable respect. You're using confident body language to signal clear intent, but it is deeply grounded in a respectful presence. It's basically a quiet strength that literally doesn't need to shout to be understood.
Next up, rule number 4, the power of emotional control.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the source's core contrast. It's like night and day. On one side, you have the emotionally manipulated man, someone who overreacts to every little thing, acting like a storm, letting their attention and emotions be easily swayed by whatever's happening. But on the other side is what the source calls the real man, someone who maintains completely stable energy control. By holding strong, stable emotion and deliberately controlling where you place your attention, you become an anchor. And that emotional stability, it's incredibly magnetic.
All right, hitting rule number 5 now, exciting high-value communication.
Texting can be a minefield, but the source provides a highly practical step-by-step strategy for what they call high-value replies. Step 1. Keep the emotional tension low. Seriously, don't be overly dramatic over text. Step 2. Keep the actual content of the messages exciting and engaging. And step 3, which is absolutely crucial, always have a clear call to action. Don't just text into the void forever. Establish exactly when and where you're going to meet up. It basically brings that earlier rule of clear purpose right into your everyday communication.
And finally, we arrive at rule number 6, the master trick of connection.
They describe this ultimate state as green body energy. Just think of a green light at a traffic intersection. It means go, it means safety, it means flow. In this context, it translates to a physical presence that is deeply easygoing and relaxed. It signals absolute safety to the other person, naturally fostering a strong, genuine connection rather than a forced, pressured physical interaction.
The biggest takeaway here is about completely shattering the mask of the fake masculine self. You really don't need to put on a tough guy act. The real master trick is actually incredibly simple. It's just creating a straightforward, comfortable, and confident moment together. When you're truly comfortable in your own skin with a clear purpose, it genuinely allows the other person to completely drop their guard.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought. The source tags these concepts as dark-coded, hinting at something secretive, maybe even a bit sneaky. But taking a step back and looking at this entire framework today, the focus on emotional stability, respectful communication, reducing pressure, and just knowing your intentions, are these so-called dark-coded signals actually manipulative tactics, or is this just a mirror revealing what true foundational human confidence actually looks like when we strip away all the nonsense? It is definitely a fascinating question to ponder. Thanks for exploring this framework with me today, and hey, keep questioning what drives the connections around you. See you next time.